I want to talk about some of the worst case scenarios that can happen when you're in an accident with regard to ride shares. I have a client that sometimes drove for Uber, and she was driving for Uber at the time that she was in an accident. She wasn't at fault for the accident. It was a bad crash. Her car was totaled. There were multiple other vehicles involved in the crash. One of the first things that you do after you're in an accident like that is you need to call in the claim to your insurance company. And inevitably, when the insurance company is talking to you and asking you about how the accident happened, it came up that she was driving for Uber at the time. Well, little did she know that she had an exclusion in her own auto insurance policy that prohibited her from doing any sort of rideshare. She was just doing this on the side to make a little bit of extra cash. This wasn't her main job. And when she initially signed up for the policy, she wasn't driving for Uber. She had no idea that this exclusion was in her policy. Because she was driving for Uber and was in a crash, and it came out that she had this exclusion, her policy was voided. As a result, all the insurance that she purchased went out the window. Her policy premiums were refunded to her. So that left her with a car that was totaled, that's been sitting in a tow yard for months at this point. Now, the person who caused the accident, of course, they had the minimum insurance in Florida, which is only $10,000 in property damage coverage. I don't know about you, but when a car is totaled, most likely it's going to cost more than $10,000. So now my client has been sitting around for months waiting for the at-fault insurance carrier to figure out how they're going to dole out this minimum $10,000 coverage between all the vehicles that were damaged as a result of their insured's negligence. Because she didn't have this rideshare rider, because driving for rideshare was excluded from her policy, she's in hot water. And if you are going to be driving for rideshare, make sure that your insurance company is aware of it and that it's written into your policy that you're allowed to do that, because you don't want to be in the situation that my client was in. And if you have any questions, if you're thinking about starting to ride for a rideshare company, give me a call. I'd be happy to look at your policy and tell you if you need to add on the rider, if there's an exclusion, or if there's any other coverage that you should add.